Okay, now I've had this water distiller about 4.5 years, and like preparing the charcoal for my charcoal filter that I make, with like this premium activated carbon, and then these. Like what I was doing is I'll take like 1 tablespoon, and I'll put this thing in here, and then I like take some distilled water and then rinse it off like 3 times in this little thing. But this is a pain to do. Like once a month I change it. I put it in my calendar software. So I got an idea here. Like I've got like this is like a little more than half used after like 4 years. This thing's like 11.49. So what I'm gonna do now is I've got like this strainer here and a bowl, and then I'm gonna rinse all this charcoal, like what's left here. I'm gonna rinse all the dust off of it with that distilled water, and then I'm gonna see if I can skim off some of this film that gets to the top with a charcoal filter. Then I don't have to. Then I'll just let it dry out. Like, what am I gonna use? I'll use like some of these glass things. I can set it in there to dry, and I can rinse out this container and put it back in there, and then I won't have to, once a month I won't have to rinse the dust off of it. And I thought of doing that before, but I wasn't sure if this was even going to work. So it's like it takes me time to like figure out if something's a good idea or not. Yeah, and then so then the charcoal will be ready to go each month, and I just have to cut a filter for it and then put it into the nozzle. And like with the nozzle, I think I was saying before, like I think you have to like open up that filter so the water drips right onto it, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think you could just fold that paper over on top of the charcoal, and I don't think there's any there's no benefit to having it open. I thought there might be, but I don't think there is. It's just because it'll just go through the another layer of paper before it gets to the charcoal. So okay, I'll set this up and then we'll see what happens. Okay, I've dumped this in here. Oh, look at that dust that gets through, little particles of it. So, yeah, so to do this, I'll need, looks like I might even need like maybe two 2-gallon things of water distilled to do this, to rinse it. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to hold off on doing this. I'll have to make some more distilled water. I guess I could use tap water, but maybe I should just use tap. Well, I know. Well, does the charcoal lose anything if you run water over it? I don't know. I could do one thing of tap water and then run distilled over it. That might be good. I think I'll do that. I'm gonna run the tap on it, dump it, and then I can do a thing of distilled. Because it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. No, I'm thinking, okay, if I did that, like there's the tap water, it's got impurities in it, so that would get onto the charcoal, which you don't want. Like distilled water doesn't, so that will be better to run over it, like 3 times. So I'm gonna make some more distilled, and then I'll do that. I wiped out this thing, and as you can see, this powder dust is on there in this paper towel, so I think that's good to rinse off before you use this. I looked into this, and I went to the pet store and I asked about using tap water on to rinse this charcoal, and they told me that like tap water, you know, it contains chlorine and fluoride. So, you know, you don't want to use that to rinse off your charcoal, because that would probably reduce its effectiveness. So, we got a couple things of distilled water here, and I'm going to rinse this a couple times, probably 3 times. As you can see, dust has already gotten into the bottom of it. And then I'm going to try skimming off like this kind of like scum that gets on the surface of the water. I'm going to try using those charcoal filters, and then I'm going to put it into a couple of these things, probably let it dry out overnight, and then put it back into that container. So now let's see. Let's see what it looks like when I add this water. Oh my gosh. What's that sound? It's like a fizzing sound. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I can put a little more in. That scum. Apparently it's harmless. I've been drinking it for 4 years. Yeah, so this is like getting all this dust off. Man, look how black that water is. Okay, let's try skimming off that scum. No, it's not all scum, it's like charcoal floating. Yeah. That looks not good. Maybe I can't. Okay, I don't think I can do that. So, throw these guys back. Thought I can get a lot of the dust. There's like a little slick of something. Okay. Okay, do you see that? Look at that black water. Okay, now this I could rinse out. Rinse that out. I think I will wipe that with a paper towel. Yeah, before I was doing like one tablespoon 3 times in a 1 cup of distilled water. this will be number 2. Yeah. Those are charcoals. It's charcoal floating on the surface. Hey, look at that, the water's a lot clearer. Okay. If you don't rinse it, then your charcoal, it makes your distilled water look like this. A little dark, a little black. Three times as good. I don't think you get much more if you do it more. I don't think charcoal is going to cause you any health issues. I don't think so, because like fish swim in it. So, I mean, if they can swim in it, should be drinkable, because it's like they're drinking it, right? Okay, pretty good, huh? Let's see. This is probably good. So this was like a little less than half of a container. If I were to get that same size container, maybe I would do it in thirds, but then I'd have to make a lot more distilled water. Well, not too much. I mean, it's worth it. Okay. That's pretty good. Set it here. Okay, so now that water is a little dark. I think that's good. Okay, and now I'll put it into these bottles. How much time do I have here? 1 minute. Okay, hold on a second. And here I've got these 2 containers here. And now, let's see, this is an ice cream scoop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure it's even. Yeah, see, that gets on your fingers. It's black stuff. So now, okay, so now let's spread it out. charcoal. This is like coconuts, right? Crushed, baked and crushed, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I could do like a whole container of this. I could not do a whole container of this in one go because it'd be too much. So it'd be like, you know, either a half or a third at a time. Unless I got something bigger, but because you want to be able to let it, has to dry out. And, I mean, if this were like 2 inches high, I mean, that wouldn't, it would take a while for it to dry out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Okay. So, that's good. So now, I'm just going to let this dry overnight. And then, we'll take another video of it. Here's, what I would, like this, like I emptied like one of these. These are the kind you buy in this box. I think that's like $12 for a box of these. And then you get these little pouches of them. I emptied one of them to see how much was in one of them. I think that was like it's 1 tablespoon. And here's what's in it, like this real fine charcoal. And then like compared to like, you know, what I've got. Seems to me bigger surface area, it'll do better, a better job. Okay, and I'd say, yeah, I wouldn't use like one of these to like scoop it out because it gets that charcoal dust on it. And then, I don't know, you have to use like a Comet to get rid of the charcoal on that. So I'd say like use a metal spoon. And then here's the dried charcoal. There. And I just took a piece of paper and folded it and then cut it on the end. I'm going to use that as a funnel to get it into this container here, which I cleaned out, and it doesn't have any dust in it. Okay, let's see how this goes. Pretty easy. And one more. If you're not careful, you get this stuff all over, which I did a little bit. There it is. This pre-washed charcoal. So I don't have to do anything before with the dust. So, okay. And then I'm thinking that, let's see here. You know the coffee filter that I use, right? So I'm thinking that will get like that scum that floats to the surface of the water. You know, like that'll just have to be, you'll just have to rely on the coffee filter to get that. And so that's it.